Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just recently, the Grammys happened. I forgot that the Grammys were even going on up until just this morning, whenever the internet was going wild and flipping upside down because apparently, as you all can see, Kanye West and his wife Bianca Censori then came up there and did something absolutely crazy. Basically, Kanye pulled a 2.0, if you will, of all of those outings that he had with his wife over there. Was it in Paris, if I'm not mistaken? Except worse. He comes out onto the red carpet looking like everybody's cousin who's just going out to go get groceries in a black outfit in the summer. His wife is dressed in what looks like a long fur coat. I'm thinking, whenever I first saw this picture, that I would hope that she has something underneath there. I understand that there are a lot of dresses that people have worn onto the red carpet. They may as well have been wearing nothing anyways because it was so sheer, but at least they had something covering their actual body. This woman and Kanye steps out onto the red carpet like this. They're saying, oh, yes, Bianca, pose for us. Let us see, what's underneath, the dress that we think that you're wearing underneath your fur coat, over the shoulder. Drop the coat. Yes. And then all of a sudden she disrobes and she is completely butt naked. You heard me correctly. There was unfortunately a child there who witnessed this allegedly, and I've been saying this since that incident where Kim Kardashian brought North West to the award show when no other children were there. Why do people bring their kids to these events? If you don't have a sitter to watch them, stay your behind home and watch them yourselves. That's your responsibility anyways as their parents. I just got done talking about the situation with DJ Academics. People don't understand this. I don't understand why, but there are children who have problems into their adult lives because they have been exposed to stuff like this. It's not something that should be normalized. It's not okay. It's very damaging. Now, who's going to help him deal with and process something he should have never saw, something he should have never been exposed to? That child should have never been there. Both of his parents need to be kicked in their behinds for bringing him there, because we all know this kind of stuff, not to this degree up until this point, but this kind of stuff does happen. I do remember everybody, whenever that fanfare incident went viral, Sierra stepped out onto the red carpet with Russell Wilson and she had that sheer dress on. And everybody was like, oh my God, Sierra's naked on the red carpet. How can you do this? We know this kind of stuff happens. There are adult parties that go on. There are adult events that go on where they have themes where they do stuff like that. Now, once again, her being completely butt naked is still unacceptable. I'm of the mindset that y'all need to have on your clothes, okay? Keep your private parts covered. I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I get that these are all adults, but have some class. Once again, I understand people will argue this is the award show. These are adults. They can wear what they want to. Although I'm going to counter argue you can still do that while maintaining class. I've seen women come onto the red carpet with dresses that expose a lot of their back, that expose their upper chest and their bosom, if you will, but they don't go so far as to have their boobs completely on display. I've seen women with plunging necklines that still have their apples, oranges, or watermelons covered. You don't see nipples. Although it speaks once again to the lack of class for the ones who do step out onto the red carpet like that. And the crazy part is Kanye West was really standing there like he was showing her off. Like, wow, look at her dress. Yeah, turn around for him, wife. Make a pose. And she was going through with the whole 9 yards of it. She was completely along with his direction. Turning around, spreading her legs, posing. Now, once again, some people will argue, and as this article states, that apparently she had on sheer stockings. It was like a mini dress made out of sheer stockings, but she was still basically naked because it was completely see-through. Now, I don't know what's been going on with the two of them and these sheer stockings outfits, her coming out only with the stockings, like in that one photo and the pillow cover in her chest. Like, I don't know what their issue is, what this obsession or this weird thing they've got going on with the sheer tights. Like, some people are saying that they're taking shots at Kim Kardashian because of those skims, that all of this is basically like his way of trying to live out the perversion that Kim Kardashian would not allow him to do with her. Like I said, I don't know for sure, but it's very perverted and it's very disturbing. Thank God it was blurred out on the videos. Well, I think of the main media outlets. Now, some of them I think apparently had the raw video, so to speak. But there were some, and of course the people who want to post it onto YouTube, not to expose her naked body or to continue the perverseness of it all, but to report on the story, made sure that she was blurred out. All of her private parts were blurred out. But it's crazy because if you actually look at the video of her being blurred, even there, they were saying once again, oh, Bianca, show us your dress, drop the coat. Yeah, turn around. And as soon as she dropped the coat, you could hear even one of the photographers say, oh, as in, oh my goodness, this woman is basically naked. Now, why they kept taking pictures, I don't understand. Now, I understand before anybody argues this point, well, they're a photographer. What else were they supposed to do? But again, if it were me in this situation, I'm just putting this out there. If I was a photographer and I made it to this far to be able to take pictures of people on the red carpet and somebody drops their entire coat and they're basically butt booty naked underneath, you think I'm finna continue taking pictures? Absolutely not. I'm not going to be responsible for the equivalent of prawn being on the internet because somebody wants to be crazy on the red carpet. Somebody wants to do something perverse and idiotic on the red carpet. They don't want to have class. That don't mean I got to keep taking pictures. Now, some articles allege that he was escorted out. Others said that was not true, that he and his wife just simply left after this happened. Allegedly, he wasn't even invited to the Grammys. So he wasn't even supposed to be there to even do this whenever he had got there. And it was probably because they figured he was going to do something crazy. So allegedly, he wasn't even supposed to be there with her to begin with, to plague the internet with their ridiculous, perverse actions. And on top of that, allegedly, this is his first time in 10 years, according to this article, being at this award show, because he hadn't attended them in a while. And it's probably going to be his last time after that, after the stunt that he pulled, because they're probably not going to let him come back. Now, a lot of people have been weighing in what they feel about this. They think it might be one of those humiliation type things, and it's an industry thing, that maybe it's just him being crazy once again, him trying to exert control. This is why I say 1,000 times on this channel, and I'm going to keep saying it. You better be careful who you marry, who you get yoked up with, because in these kind of circles, in some circles, places in society, they will let you know, as a woman especially, when you marry somebody, you are now subject to his leadership. I do believe that the husband is supposed to be the head of the household, but if you marry somebody that's crazy and that has perverse intentions, they can write this off as, oh, well, she's doing what her husband wanted her to do, even though we all know it's wrong. Yes, there will be some people who will still try to argue that very messed up point. Now, at the same time, does she not have free will? If you know your husband's not doing something that's right, you're not supposed to just go along with it because he's your husband and he said do it. That makes you just as wrong as him. Now, there are some people that are saying, call me crazy, but they don't believe that that's the real Kanye. Now, one thing that does bother me is every time he has done something that's not right, people have always used an excuse to justify it or make it okay, knowing good and doggone well they would not do the same for other people, for a woman, for somebody who was not Kanye, for anybody really. And that's what makes it hard to discuss some of these things that people say on the internet. Like, we can't get anywhere with possible conversations concerning what's really going on because of the way people have worshipped the ground that he walks on so much. They excuse everything that he does. How this relationship was shoved in our faces, and a lot of people were getting real smart and disrespectful by the mouth, saying, oh, the reason why he decided to marry her is because she's not from the U.S. She's real submissive. She does whatever he wants her to do, trying to take jabs at American women. And then after all these disrespectful conversations, these perverted conversations, these dysfunctional and toxic conversations to try and once again put these kind of relationships on a pedestal, look at what happens. Look at what he has her out here doing. Once again, people pay attention. Whenever you see the very toxic and dysfunctional individuals of society, those people with podcasts and microphones that I said should not have them, try to make certain relationships the standard for relationships, and they use very disrespectful, racist, colorist, very toxic rhetoric to justify it, or again, make it the standard. That's how you know it's wrong. And shortly thereafter, notice every time they do that, we see something crazy come out of it, or they crash and burn. This goes back to something I've always talked about, which is never make these celebrities your example. Do not look up to them. Do not take them seriously. Do not take their advice. Make God your example. Look up to God, take his advice. Because these people gonna have y'all out here crashing and burning along with them. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all thinking, how y'all feel about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.